Welcome back to another video. I actually wanted to change things up a little bit today. With the trading post coming out, I actually will tell you that the trading post is actually bringing a lot of players in. I don't think I've ever had to wait in even a very short queue to log into my server. And today, obviously, there was, in fact, a queue. So, and again, like I said, business is booming at that trading post. Obviously, as you can see, I've already picked up the flail, and completely redone my transmog in this case. This is, obviously, I've got two Legion Legendaries, for appearances. I've got the Uncertain Reminder, and then the Gloves of the Smoldering Heart. But yeah, I think this actually looks really good. Anyway, what I want to start this video off is kind of going over. I want to first revisit my theory on two-handed Enhancement Shaman, because now that we're into the actual expansion, and we've been into it for a little bit now, there are obviously some changes that would be made ideally. Originally, I think I had maybe said Ascendance, or I don't remember. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but it was basically a build that was along the lines of obviously dipping into Thorum's Invocation. But kind of what I want to bring up here is, now that, you know, things are kind of settled with where we're at with things, I don't necessarily think that Thorum's Invocation is really necessary. I think a Thorum's Invocation build would probably be what I would lean towards, but the problem is that the talents don't actually work in their current placements so that you can actually get Thorum's Invocation. And I'll kind of show you guys what I mean by that. But like I said, I don't think Thorum's Invocation is really necessary. And really, I don't think Hailstorm is necessary either. If you recall, I had mentioned maybe swapping these talents around a little bit so that you could get your Ice Strike, your Hailstorm, and your Swirling Maelstrom. But again, one of the big issues with two-handed Enhancement Shaman that people have had issues with is the Maelstrom generation. And if you're constantly consuming your Maelstrom rather than saving it for your big hits from Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Healing Surge, that obviously makes the build a little more clunky. So, again, ideally I would like to see this tree adjusted a little bit so that you could at least get Thorum's Invocation. But other than that, like, let me go kind of show you what the two-handed build would end up looking like, and kind of go over why it actually works, or why it would work. So obviously we take the Storm Strike. You take Wind Fury Weapon, Forceful Winds, Unruly Winds. You obviously want your Improved Maelstrom, your Raging Maelstrom. You want to take your Ice Strike. Obviously that's enough to open up the next set of talents. You want your Doom Winds. Again, Doom Winds would need to be adjusted so that it can be used with a two-handed weapon. Currently, Doom Winds is another ability that's locked to dual wield. Again, Storm Strike is locked to dual wield, but it wasn't always. Originally, it was actually usable with a two-handed weapon, but like I said, it's now locked to a dual wield build. I'm pretty sure Ice Strike is also locked to dual wields. I'm pretty sure they did that before the expansion officially released. So obviously you want your Sundering, nothing like hitting the ground with a big two-handed weapon. We want the Overflowing Maelstrom, which makes it possible to consume up to 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks. Obviously, with the two-handed Enhancement Shaman build, you definitely want your Wind Fury Totem. Now, something I've kind of realized in adjusting even my dual-wield build, my standard build, I actually go with the Mythic Plus build that's melee focused, just because I actually prefer the melee structure as opposed to the caster variant, where it's mostly where you're relying a lot on Lava Burst and Elemental Blast and Primordial Wave. But that's just, again, my preference. I prefer the melee builds. But yeah, Wind Fury weapon, you definitely want that in the two-handed build because of the because of the Wind Fury procs. Swirling Maelstrom, you obviously end up taking that. And that's just because it's going to allow your consuming at least 2 stacks of Hailstorm using let me double check that. I don't even know if you need that because I don't know if it's going to work either. I mean, obviously you want Ice Strike because it's going to generate Maelstrom. Okay, yeah, this works because every time you end up using Ice Strike, it's also going to cause you to generate an additional stack of Maelstrom. So rather than generating 1 stack of Maelstrom just by using Ice Strike, you're going to generate 2 stacks. This basically improves Ice Strike to allow you to generate 2 strikes of Maelstrom weapon from your Ice Strike. Obviously, this build relies heavily on on Storm Strike, so you want your Storm Flurry. This basically allows you to. This is, as some people have stated, this is basically Wind Fury just for Storm Strike. Now, obviously, I have a question as to whether it actually procs, or if that second strike has a chance to proc the play off that 7% chance to activate Ascendance. I don't know. I can safely say that on the build I currently have, just adding it, I seem to be proccing, definitely be proccing Deeply Rooted Elements a lot more frequently. So it's possible that the second Storm Strike from Storm Flurry is allowing that is able to trigger that 7% chance to activate Ascendance. But I don't know 100%. Obviously, we want the Storm's Wrath because this is going to give us an increased chance to trigger Wind Fury. Crash Lightning, obviously a staple of this build. Storm Blast. It's going to allow Storm Strike to... it's going to cause Stormbringer to cause the next Storm Strike to deal additional nature damage. You have to take the elemental weapons. And the reason you have to take the elemental weapons is you just don't end up having enough talent points to access the next run. And then obviously you either take Converging Storms or Crashing Storms. Obviously I have a strong preference to AoE, so Crashing Storms is what I take. So this is going to open up the next set of talents. Obviously we take Deeply Rooted Elements. We're also going to take Legacy of the Frost Witch, because this is going to allow us to trigger, to use Storm Strike more often. So every time we consume 10 stacks of Maelstrom weapon, it's going to reset our Storm Strike. And obviously the more Storm Strikes, the more likely we proc Ascendance, and so the more uptime for Ascendance. Like I said, I would love it if we had enough ability to take Thorum's Invocation, because that's going to obviously trigger more Lightning Bolts, but Lightning Bolts, Chain Lightnings, you know, But again, I just don't think it's really necessary, even in a two-handed build, and it might actually become more of a hindrance. But we do want to take the static accumulation, because what this does is, while Ascendance is active, you generate 2 Maelstrom weapon stacks per second. And so, obviously, the more uptime you have for Ascendance, the more Maelstrom weapon stacks you're going to have. So, even with a two-handed weapon, it's not going to matter, because, like I said, you're potentially going to be in Ascendance quite a bit, and so you're constantly going to be generating Maelstrom, and again, you're just not going to have an issue with it. Obviously, we want Witch Doctor's Ancestry as well as Elemental Assault. Elemental Assault's going to give is going to increase the damage of Storm Strike. Plus, with rank 2, it guarantees that every time you use Storm Strike, you generate a stack of Maelstrom weapon. But in order to get that, we have to take the Feral Spirits. Witch Doctor's Ancestry is also very helpful, especially on a two-handed build. It would increase the chance to gain a stack of Maelstrom by a total of 4%. And whenever you gain a stack of Maelstrom weapon, the cooldown of Feral Spirits is reduced. So, again, that's going to help with getting your Feral Spirits out, as well as allow you to generate more stacks of Maelstrom weapon. So, again, I'm not going to fill in this tree, because obviously the main focus of what I'm trying to explain here is obviously just to kind of update, kind of where I sit with how two-handed enhancement would work in Dragonflight. Obviously, I kind of see this build, this talent tree as having 3 potential builds, if only they would allow two-handed Enhancement Shaman. I mean, the way I see it is, if you want to have more of a caster Enhancement Shaman using the Lava Burst and the Elemental Blast, you're going to want to obviously use this side of the talent tree and get down into Splintered Elements. Personally, I think if there was enough talent points, Splintered Elements would be really good for a two-handed build, because it's going to increase that haste. Although, again, it's still not really necessary, because I think, especially with how much you're going to be in Ascendance, with the static accumulation, there's just no need for that additional haste, and you may even be able to technically drop, you could arguably drop Wind Fury Totem. I mean, I don't even know if Wind Fury Totem would even be necessary at this point. Well, obviously it is, because if you drop your Wind Fury Totem, you obviously lose the ability to, you're 1 point short of being able to access this final tier of talents. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, I think this would be the two-handed Enhancement Shaman build. I mean, perhaps maybe, adjust some of these talents that you can use Hailstorm, although, again, not really necessary. And maybe adjust things so you could take Thorm's Invocation. Personally, I think Thorm's Invocation would be the two-handed Enhancement Shaman build, but is it really necessary? No. Like I said, I mean, I think this would be a perfect two-handed Enhancement Shaman build, if, again, they removed the dual wield requirement and allowed for two hands. Like I said, the caster build this would obviously see players taking Elemental Blast, Primordial Wave, and then down into Splintered Elements. Obviously, I think the AoE melee build is clearly going to be, obviously, your Feral Spirits build. Whether you're choosing to take Elemental Spirits or Alpha Wolf. But really, that's kind of how I see this set of this talent tree broken down, is you literally do have a caster build, a melee build, and then you actually have the ability to have a two-handed build, if only Blizzard removed the requirement for dual wielding. So, with that said, I mean, that's basically me revisiting the two-handed Enhancement Shaman idea. And again, obviously, you know, it's highly doubtful they're going to bring it back. No matter how much players try to beg them, or, you know, we post videos about this stuff. But, you know, I mean, we can obviously put in suggestions. We can obviously try to, you know, convince them. I mean, they do seem to be much more open to taking our suggestions and our feedback now. And so, hey, I mean, I think if enough of us got together and said, hey, give us two-handed Enhancement Shaman back, remove the dual wield requirement, they may very well allow it. Especially if we could present a good enough case that there's just no reason not to allow dual wield when the talents are already right there, and there's no way you're going to have a maelstrom problem unless you just get extremely unlucky with deeply rooted elements. And again, 7% is actually a pretty big deal. And so, and again, like I said, you know, you've got all those other talents that are going to help you use your Storm Strike much more often. So, like I said, I mean, just simply modifying my actual build in the game and adding this in here, adding Storm Flurry, has increased the amount of uptime I have for Ascendance quite a bit. And it's kind of surprising just how much uptime I actually have now just by adding a talent. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I had pretty good uptime before, but the downside is it just really feels like, you know, without Storm Flurry, you know, it's just more up to luck, you know. I mean, it just, like I said, it feels a little clunky without Storm Flurry. It feels much better, and like I said, I have more uptime with deeply rooted elements just by adding Storm Flurry. But anyway, like I said, I mean, you know, maybe enough people present the case to Blizzard that there's no reason that we don't have the ability to have two-handed Enhancement Shaman, and they'll allow it. So, I mean, I might very well start putting in suggestions and explaining to them how it can work. But that's really all we can do. Like I said, they seem to be listening to players a lot more. So anyway, let's go back over to my main build here. You know, I had originally dipped all the way down into taking Thorm's Invocation, but ultimately decided I was going to trade off. There was a part of me that kind of figured that getting Legacy of the Frost Switch was going to be very important. So basically, the trade-off here ended up being I dropped Thorm's Invocation, Static Accumulation, and I took Storm Flurry and Legacy of the Frost Witch, and it's a lot more smooth. Like I said, I think the only time you're really going to want to use these two is if you're going to have a two-handed build. I think with dual wield, you generate enough Maelstrom that you don't need to worry about static accumulation. Nor do you need to worry about the extra proc that you can get from Thorm's Invocation. So again, it's just these two talents are really just a waste for dual wield, because like I said, you really need Storm Strike and Legacy of the Frost Witch. So again, it's a lot more smoother, and you know, that's a wonderful thing in my opinion. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and I picked up some quests. Obviously, they did finally roll out the trading post. Obviously, Traveler's Log is now officially available. Obviously, I've already got some travel points. I've already been doing some of the stuff in here. Obviously, I really think that it's going to be good. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have that Traveler's Log. So, but anyway, I'm going to queue for, I picked up a couple quests for Azure Vaults. And so I'm going to go ahead and queue for Azure Vaults, and we'll just kind of see where things end up going. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and do, not the Naku Defensive, although that dungeon is extremely fun. We're going to go ahead and queue for Heroic Azure Vault, and just kind of wait and see what happens. And then, with that being said, this will also kind of give you guys the opportunity to kind of see what I've done with this character and the build that I've made for it. I mean, I've kind of deviated from what is available on Wowhead and Icy Veins. Normally, I will just straight up copy those builds and use them, but one of the big reasons I didn't is I just think Lava Burst is a waste. If you're a melee build, you don't need Lava Burst. Trust me. I mean, it's just it's an extra button, and again, it's not worth it in my opinion. I mean, I've got Lightning Bolt and I've got Chain Lightning. I mean, I could see where maybe if your nature spells get locked, it might be useful, because then you can obviously use Lava Burst instead of Lightning Bolt. Because I do believe it actually does, I do believe Maelstrom Weapon actually does have an impact on it, so, yeah. Like that. Let me see, okay. I also want to do some, obviously want to do some, I mean, I've been wanting to do these primal storm, the elemental storms, but I actually haven't figured out how to do them. But I want to do some dragon racing also. I actually really enjoy it. Choose water gliders from Instructor Eclipse Sturgeon. War of the Shifting Sands. Okay. Also, something else I kind of wanted to go over. I posted a couple videos from my 200 Enhancement Shaman from Wrath Classic video, and you know, I think I think it would be important that I address something. So I noticed that there was you know, a bit of a, you know, a bit of an issue, and in the comments, I've already kind of taken care of it. We're not going to get into that, but I do want to make it clear that, and I should have addressed this first, to be honest, but I want to make it clear that, you know, this channel needs to be safe, and needs to be a safe place for everybody, and, you know, disrespect and you know, disrespect or any, you know, anything that could be hurtful or harmful to others is not going to be allowed. YouTube doesn't want it. I know Twitch has certain things in place where they don't want it, and you know, they actually can ban streamers over it. So, you know, like I said, we need to be respectful to everybody in the comments, even if we don't agree with something. I mean, if you guys don't agree with something that I've done, or you know, or you don't agree with somebody else, you know, there's no need for name calling and being rude and disrespectful to people. You know, we can, or I mean, it's just yeah. We're not going to have the disrespect or name calling or anything like that. I mean, like, everybody's entitled to their opinions, but sometimes it's best to just not. Sometimes it's just best to not state things, because, you know, then you know, it could be considered offensive, or, you know, the way they put it is, If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And so that's kind of the way that I see it. Like I said, there's just no need for disrespect and name calling. I can tell you guys straight up that what had happened was someone got upset because, you know, I'm guessing that they were upset because I may or may not have reported somebody. And I'm going to be straight up. It doesn't matter whether I reported another player or not in the game. What does matter, I mean, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Pretty much all streamers and content creators do that. You know, I mean, we have to make sure that everything is safe and, you know, and that there's no issues for people. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, there's, like I said, pretty much every content creator is, you know, will use those features. And some content creators are probably nicer than others about it. So, you know, I mean, if people don't like the fact that content creators are reporting other players in game, then I mean it's on you guys. That's on whoever has a problem with it. So anyway, I think enough said there. Like I said, I don't want to go on a tirade about it, but my main point is that people need to be respectful in comments, and respectful, polite, and appropriate in the comments. That's not what we want. We need to go. I am going to go turn in this quest for Tarjan, though. So. Why should I be with the other Jarden? I do not presume to know our ways. On Estraza, I was no longer welcome in the Kalashi dragon hunting parties. There was a liability. Kind of curious about this guy. wish to, in battle with a massive dragon. For 3 weeks without moving, waiting for a perfect moment. Plummeted. Volcano's throat, burning it alive as we were both enveloped in lava. In that volcano for 3 days straight until I emerged with nothing but her skull. Take it that's her skull. Here on the shelf beside me, see for yourself. I'm pretty sure that's the skull that he's referring to. Pretty sure that's Venestrasa. Or what remains of her. Okay. Carve their way through the land. Why is it taking so long to get a group together? Or is everybody really that focused on the trading post? German tribes, a whirlwind of violence and stubbornness who refused to fall. For 8 days and nights he fought through without rest and without fail. He had earned his place among the Jarden. And joined the Kalashi tribe as a dragon hunter. He fought alongside the Kalashi for years. Countless dragons he proved his worth, until one day he finally fell in battle with a powerful dragon 100 times his size. He arrived an outsider, but he died at Jarden. Jardine. Okay. Is that really all there is to that? Interesting.
My friend, our history together is illustrious. Surely you'll lend me your support here at the Citadel. I bring the future generation of
Of course we're going to side with
I shall
Rathia.
await your delivery of a
You will
key.
lead us in our efforts to settle here on Azeroth.
I just don't like Sibelian. You know, the guy rubs me the wrong way. I mean, Rathian has, you know, some questionable motives, but... I mean... I mean, honestly, though, I mean, truth be told, the more I think back to Tides of Darkness and Beyond the Dark Portal, Sibelian may actually technically be the one that really truly is the heir to Deathwing. Although I don't think either of them are truly qualified, and I really do wish Ebonhorn would step up and just take over. I think
Be wary, champions.
Ebonhorn is
My vault
probably
meant
the
things,
best
but
option,
calmness is not the
considering that he just doesn't
These
want the
vaults
position,
will
he doesn't want the power.
as a threat. Their brains
Yeah, I mean, you guys can see, I mean, I've already basically procced, you know, it didn't take long to even proc, Ascendant there. I wish I at least had my damage meters to see, you know, just to see if I'm actually doing, how much damage is actually being done. I need to get that so I can see how much damage is being done, but... yeah. don't think I've actually done the Azure Vault. Yeah, I don't think well, I might have. I mean, Laymore, I think Laymore is the boss that's similar to the one boss
Target something first.
in the Nexus or whatever it is.
The Sundered Flame have been delving into my vault. They do not understand the dangers within, nor the powers they meddle with.
I am out of range.
Actually,
I require a target.
but more on the topic of totems, you'll notice I really just don't use them at this point, and it's just because I don't see any real value in them anymore. They're not up long enough to where it makes any real difference. And that's just kind of the way I see it.
My beloved Malagos gifted me with arcane seeds. I planted them here. A little garden from him.
I mean, like I said, they don't last for like the 5 minutes they last in Wrath. They're only up for like 15 seconds, maybe at most. Wind Fury Totem can actually last for like 2 minutes, but really, in my opinion, that's the only totem that's really worth it. Like, this one's only 10 seconds. Wind Rush is 5 seconds. Capacitor Totem obviously explodes after a short little bit. And then Earthbind is 20 seconds. So, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Like, so much for enhancement being Totemic Warriors. Especially when, Wind Fury is just not worth taking. Wind Fury Totem is not worth taking anymore. I wonder what keeps giving me Earthen Weapon.
Something first.
There is no sign
actually
of the
curious.
Sundered Flame here. Come, this way.
I'm actually really curious. I'm gonna have to probably research that, but for some reason I keep proccing Earthen Weapon somehow. And I don't know what's triggering
The location of
it.
my vault was chosen to harness and make use of this powerful ley line. While a marvel to behold, I am unsure of what effects it will have on your mortal form. Do be on the lookout for the growth of extra appendages.
That sounds a little weird, but okay, Syndragosa.
Target.
You have discovered one of my books of translocation. Since the majority of the Vault's caretakers are flightless, I incorporated a means of safe travel via these tomes.
Yeah, truthfully, I don't know that I've actually done this.
I must get closer. Far away. I'm out of range.
Okay, you know what?
I must get closer.
There's another one, but it's like it procced at the completely wrong time.
think first.
Both drop from Umber Skull. Oh, come on. Talk about a frickin' pathetic chicken polymorph. Don't worry about it.
Yes, yes. So beautiful, so powerful, all for me.
Not bad, that's actually good.
Azure Blade. I do not blame her.
Upgrade for me.
I should have thought of her before I left. This door. I sense a breach behind it. The sundered flame must be this way.
Tear this place apart if you have to. I will expose whatever secrets she locked away within these walls.
I must get closer.
The ash was their mortifying seed. The consequences would be dire. Please, hurry.
Far away. I must get closer. I am not afraid. Far away. I must get closer.
out of range. I must get closer. I require a target. Far away.
What is she hiding? Did she send you? Enough! Freeze!
I'm out of range. That item is still recharging.
Her secrets will be mine! Now you will pay!
I must get closer.
Freeze!
Too far away.
Her secrets will be mine! Freeze!
I must get closer. I need to target something first.
Lies!
We are too late. Oh. Oh no.
Interesting. Yeah, this is the first time I've done this. This is cool.
My agony is yours!
There's another Descendants.
Have a target. I require a target. I am out of range. Too far away. I must get closer. I need to target something first.
There we go. That's...
My dear one. He knew that wild magic was dangerous, but he meddled with it anyway. By the time we found him, we could not stop the growth. I placed him in stasis until I could find a proper cure. And then... I was gone. Champion, you did what was needed and ended his suffering.
Wow.
Thank you. I am but a simulacrum. But once, I was a mother as well. Please, leave me to mourn. I know just what to do with you.
We gotta feel bad for her. Now, I don't think that actually does. I don't know that that actually counts towards. Yeah, see, that doesn't count towards it. You have to actually go to. I have to do. You have to run Icecrown Citadel and love her in there. That is a nice cloak. It's kind of just unfortunate that. It is kind of just unfortunate that I don't really. Yeah. Cloak of Lost Devotion. That is a nice cloak, but yeah. Okay. Do I have... While I'm here, I may as well... Do I have one casing? I need... May as well just get 5 more of these. I can... So... nice thing about these cases is these keys things is they...
I do not have a target.
These key fragments and casings, it's not like they just disappear, so...
Come then, let us speak. If you see anything strange, let me know. Keep your secrets to yourself.
We meet again, champion.
What are you after? Don't forget about me. I'm certain you have things to do. I'm sure.
That could be useful. There's no quest here.
I need to target something first. target.
All these key fragments, but unfortunately, casings just don't drop very much. They need to improve the drop. They need to increase the drop rate of the keys, I think. The casing. They need to increase drop rating of the key casings. Like, that's inevitable.
With this key, we can breach the barrier within the vault and rid it of the infestations that have grown there.
I need to target something first.
Jaredin and Scalecracker keep wish to test our strength. Assist my dragons in repelling their efforts.
I do not have a target.
Casings, not fragments. Casings. I swear they need to increase the pricing on these casings. They really do. Or they need to increase the drop rate on the casings. Not in my group. I've got 2 casings now. Sargus. I don't know, I keep forgetting to do that. Let's go ahead and give this to his quartermaster. Oh, you... What was that?
Ain't you a shipper-looking one?
I need to target something first. something first.
Okay. What? I don't get it. Like, why? Because you're in a raid group, that's why. It won't do it, because we're in a raid group.
I do not have a target.
Just split into groups of 5. Need to split into groups of 5 to complete quests. Yeah. This is not good. Like, you gotta love how I just.
Assist my dragons in repelling their enemies.
I am out of range.
Yeah, I'm dead. Until they get out of there. Definitely just get out of here. Okay. Okay. Just know we aren't going to raid because boss or what? pain in the butt. Especially when... Right, everybody come here. Just come to me, guys. There's a boss over here. We do have a boss up. We have a boss up also. Yeah. Okay. Rare. Yeah, if everybody can just come to me. Me at the bridge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going raid, by the way. You can't complete quests.
Target something first.
Can't complete quests in a raid, so... Yep. Do I have... Okay, good. Good. Let's...
Speak your mind.
Perfect. Yeah, there's a reason I haven't gone raid, and that's just because there's no point. If you do go raid, you just can't complete world quests. I mean, you can't complete a lot of the quests here, and that sucks. So like this quest right here, you can't complete it in a raid group. Join to the party.
Something first. is not ready yet.
I just picked up that flame car from Colin Stalker Chicago. 12 of 12. Okay. Let's cover this bone. Protector's Cudgel. That's a strength item. It's basically the same thing I have, but it's strength, which is stupid. So why I ended up getting a strength item. Why I ended up getting a strength item. I got a strength item. Yeah, it's strength with no agility. Like, there is no agility on it. Like, it is actually a... it is legitimately a... Yeah. It is legitimately just strength. Okay, we want to make sure... Okay, do I have... Okay, and I do.
I've been keeping an eye out. The Black Talon are always loyal. If you see anything strange, let me know.
Scortia.
Can I trust you? I am the future.
Okay. What are my other quests that I've got to do here? Feeding the fire. Honor the Fallen.
Do you have something to say? I won't leave. Yes?
Go on. I'm certain you have things to do.
Get me out of this cave. Obviously, that's just going to make them more angry. Mean.
What is it? I enjoyed speaking with you.
Is there another rare up in there? Another rare up yet? Do we have another rare up yet? Probably going to end up ending this soon. I just... kind of want to go over... So, this is probably where we're going to end this video today. I really just kind of wanted to revisit the two-handed Enhancement Shaman idea now that I've played this expansion a bit and kind of seen how the talent trees work and stuff. And you know, that video was actually made, I want to say, during pre-patch, and so we actually may have had the talent trees, but we couldn't actually fill the talent trees, let alone see how everything was going to fit together. And so you know, even then, with what is actually doable in game currently, I have as you can see, I had to adjust a few things here and there, but I think, yeah, I mean, I think I get far more Maelstrom procs now than I did before. Not Maelstrom procs, Ascendance procs, and so, like I said, especially with those Ascendance procs, I just don't think you're going to have that big of an issue with Maelstrom if they were to allow two-handed. But that's why, like I said, with dual wield, I can actually completely drop static accumulation and Thorum's invocation, because I don't have to worry about it. You know, I mean, I have enough Maelstrom generation with dual wielding, so yeah. But anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, guys.